Hello again, my name is Gabe Zollner. Interesting article on Western journalism. Warning, Obamacare a risk for the elderly. In parenthesis, what you need to know. And the administration is saying that thanks to Obamacare, the elderly are being better looked after. And how they're coming up with that statement is that they're showing that fewer elderly go back to the hospital after having been treated for a certain condition than they did prior to Obamacare. So as a result of those figures, they're saying once again that Obamacare is doing a better job looking after elderly patients because they're not returning as they did before after a procedure. Well, that's really not the case. There's a little provision within Obamacare that prevents a hospital from being compensated properly if the patient returns within a short period of time. So let's say someone came in for chest pains and the hospital treated them and let them go home. Now, if that patient returned within a certain period of time, as specified within Obamacare, then the hospital wouldn't be compensated since Obamacare assumes they didn't do the job right in the first place. Otherwise, the patient wouldn't have reoccurred. Now, the reality is that what they do when that does happen is they don't put the patient in the way they did earlier on by admitting him. They put him in for observation. He's not being admitted as a patient, he's being admitted for observation. And because of that, he could end up in the same room he was in as a patient, with the same nurses and the same doctors. But since he's in for observation, Medicare won't be billed, or the insurance providers won't be billed. You know who will be billed? The patient. So the moral of this little video clip is if you ever go to the hospital, never allow them to put you in for observation. Because if they do, you're going to end up needing to go see a doctor after you get your bill, especially if you have a heart issue. It's pretty crazy. See, this is exactly what happened with the Veterans Administration. They have policies, they have procedures, they get bonuses based on seeing a certain number of patients. So they falsified that information. That's what hospitals are now doing. They're falsifying the information. They're bringing that patient back in again, but they're not admitting him or her. They're bringing them in for observation. And the patient will be totally responsible for the bill, since Medicare or any other Obamacare provider won't pay. That's the game they're playing. So you need to be aware of that. And if you have any elderly folks, please make sure they come up to speed on this, because if they don't, they're going to end up with some nasty hospital bills. Take a look at it. It's on Western journalism, and I'm sure you can Google it. The title is Warning, Obamacare a Risk for the Elderly. Once again, in parentheses, what you need to know. And by God, you do need to know this.